this is Team 3. The project that we had worked on was to build mobile applications for the Institute of Human Origin. We have built 3 apps here, an iOS app and an Android app for the end users, and a Java Swing app for the IHO admin. So I'll briefly cover the architecture that we have implemented here before actually show you how our apps look like. So we have, like I mentioned before, we have 2 kinds of users here, the end user and the IHO admin. So the end users are basically using an Android application or an iOS application. So the data that is visible in the Android apps or the iOS app to the end users, they are controlled by the IHO admin. So that data is entered into the database via the Java Swing desktop application. So our database is currently residing in a JSON server, and the files that are stored in the database are in the JSON file format. So the files from this JSON server are read via HTTP services by the end applications, that is the iOS app and the Android app. And the images that we see in these apps are basically stored in Dropbox, and they are rendered directly into these apps. So the reason why we went for this approach is that it reduces the overhead on the apps or on the database, and we kind of distributing the load everywhere so that we're distributing the load everywhere so that the apps do not crash when high volume of traffic comes in. Alright, now we'll move on to the demo of our mobile apps. Hi, so this is the mobile app that we have developed for IHO. The UX design for the Android and the iOS version, they are the same, except for 1 or 2 minor differences due to the OS limitations, which I will point out while we walk through each and every functionality here. Alright, so the home page, at the bottom we have the IHO logo. So we made the logo a little bit interactive. So clicking on each skull will give you a quick info about IHO. This is another one. Now going to the first part, the news and events. So here we have 5 links: news, in the media, and events. Here we have modified this, or the customer wanted it in such a way that clicking on these links takes you directly to the web page of IHO, of ACU's IHO page. Instead of taking the user to a Safari browser and then displaying the content, we are rendering the web content directly in the app itself. This is done purely for a better user experience. Feature news shows the hot topic of the IHO at the moment, and you're clicking on this link will take you to the web page. Similarly, for travel and learn, there's a short passage on their travel department, and clicking on that more about travel will take you to the travel page of IHO. And field notes. This is an important page because this is where all information about their scientists, all the scientists that are associated with IHO, and all the advancements that they make in their field are displayed here. So under scientists, we have all the scientists that are working for IHO given here. So let's go to the first one. So this is Director William. So here, if you see, we have 3 links here: a gallery, ask a question, and learn more about. So learn more about the scientist will take you to the web page. Ask a question, so you can send an email to him directly. So this is one difference between Android and iOS. So here, it's an app overlay. So clicking, you can type whatever message you want, and if you want to send, you can send it, or if you click cancel, it'll take you back to the mobile app. But in Android, there is an app switching that happens here. So it'll take you to the default email client there, and if you want to come back to the IHO app here, so you have to use the task switcher like this, and then select IHO app to come back to the app. So this is not a feature limitation from our end, it is an OS limitation, so it had to be implemented that way. New science page. So here, all the advancements, all the breakthrough that they've made recently, they are listed here. And here we have changed the ordering of the new science items that are displayed here. Before it used to have a specific order number that had to be entered manually, but now it is based on timestamp. So we had to rewrite the logic that is implemented there. And each and every page that you see here, we have made UI changes, and we have rebuilt the pages. We have had to rebuild the pages from the scratch to implement various functionalities that we wanted to implement, such as a scrolling feature or the orientation. So now every page that you see here, they work on landscape as well as on portrait mode, and also they work across multiple screen sizes varying from 4 inches up to 6.5, and even for iPad screens also, so can say 10.1 inch. And in all this, auto layout has been implemented, due to which the buttons and the layout, everything goes according to screen sizes. All right, so now we're going to the Lucy page. An important part of, in fact, discovering Lucy helped in founding the IHO Institute. So this page, we have made it pinch to zoom. We have enabled that feature here so that we can select a specific body part as required. And this is visible here. And the active selections are marked in red. And once it becomes inactive, it becomes blue, just like how you see in hyperlinks, where clicking on a link, on an active link, it turns from blue to purple. Then we have the connect page here. So here, the basic information how you want to connect with the IHO. So the first link takes you to the website. So you have the website, you have the location. Clicking on the location will take you to the default map client that you have in your phone. And then contact will take you to the ASU IHO contact page. And similarly, the Ask an Anthropologist and Becoming Human, these are dedicated websites that comes under the IHO's webpage. So clicking on these respective links will take you to those respective websites. And then below we have all the 5 social media icons where IHO have their own channels. So clicking on any of them will take you to their respective channels. And then we have the About page and the Donate page. It is used by IHO admin for controlling the information that is displayed on the mobile apps that are used by the end users. This is more like an interface that I mentioned initially in the architecture. So we log into this Spring application using Java Web Tokens. So that is the authentication mechanism that we have implemented. So you have a user ID and password. You enter that. You reach this home screen. So here you have the news and events. The news, events, and travel, they're not in use anymore. They instead, the app renders it directly from the IHO web page. Under the featured news, this is the hot topic that I mentioned before. So if you want to add a new entry, you click on add, and then you enter the title, the link. This is the URL to which the user is redirected to, and this is the description that you find on the page. And the browse here, this is the image that you want to upload to the app. And if you want to edit a existing entry, you click on view, and the same fields come up there. Now under field notes, we have the scientists, the new sciences. So scientists, again, these are the entries that you see in the scientist page. So if you want to edit an existing scientist entries, click on select it, click on view, you make the entries here. So the URL is the page through which the user is redirected to. The email is where you send an email to that particular scientist, the description, and the image URL here. This is the Dropbox image URL for the image that is displayed on the page. And we have the gallery here. So this gallery is the specific gallery for a scientist. So all the images that are displayed here are entered here. And then say for the first entry, this is the image caption. So this is the text that is displayed immediately below the image. And you have the Dropbox URL for the image. So this is the same logic that is followed in the generic gallery as well, where the same logic, the same method of implementation is adopted there as well. And we have the new sciences. So the latest innovations and the advancements that IHO has made in their respective fields that are published here. So this is just a simple, you give the title of the advancement that they made, and the URL to which the user has to be redirected to.